You may have noticed it. Not something dramatic, not something you can point to, just a quiet, unsettling sense that reality doesn't feel the way it used to. Time seems to move differently. People feel more distant or strangely mechanical. Things that once mattered don't land the same way anymore. And even when life looks normal on the surface, something underneath feels thinner. If you felt this, you're not alone. Millions of people across cultures, beliefs, and backgrounds are reporting the same thing. And no, this doesn't mean you're losing touch with reality, but it also doesn't mean reality itself is broken. What's changing is something far more subtle and far more interesting. Most people don't say reality is different now. What they actually say is things like, I feel disconnected. Time is flying. Life feels unreal. I don't care about the things I used to. It feels like something ended, but I can't explain what. This isn't panic, it isn't delusion, and it isn't random. It's a shift in how reality is experienced, not necessarily in reality itself, and that distinction matters. Here's where many explanations go off track. When people feel this shift, the mind looks for dramatic causes, a broken timeline, a simulated world, hidden forces, a collapse of reality. But historically, human perception changes before explanations catch up. When inner frameworks dissolve faster than outer structures adapt, the world feels unreal, even though nothing externally collapsed. This has happened before. It happens during cultural transitions, technological leaps, and deep psychological reorganizations. The feeling is ancient, the context is new. One of the clearest reasons reality feels different now is that many people's inner awareness has quietly outgrown the systems they live inside. The world still runs on old incentives, status, productivity, consumption, endless striving. But a growing number of people no longer feel emotionally aligned with those goals. Not because they've transcended them, but because they no longer feel meaningful. When your internal compass shifts but the external world doesn't, life begins to feel hollow. You're still playing the game, but you no longer believe in the prize. The human nervous system evolved for slow change, local awareness, direct experience. Modern life delivers constant novelty, global crises, infinite abstraction, endless information. The result? The mind moves from participation to observation. Life starts to feel less immersive, more like watching than living. Reality doesn't feel vivid because attention is spread thin across thousands of inputs. This alone can create a powerful sense of unreality. Many people describe time speeding up, but time itself hasn't changed. What's changed is how memory is formed. When days are repetitive, predictable, and digitally mediated, fewer moments stand out. And when fewer moments stand out, memory compresses. Looking back, weeks collapse into days. Years blur together. It feels like time vanished, when in reality experience became less distinct. For most of human history, people lived inside strong collective narratives, religion, progress, nation, destiny. Today those stories are fracturing, but nothing stable has replaced them. So people feel suspended between meanings, not lost, not awakened, just unfinished. Reality feels different because the story that once explained it no longer convinces us. From a spiritual perspective, this can feel like awareness loosening its grip on old identities. Less attachment to roles, less emotional investment in surface narratives, more space between thought and observer. But this isn't enlightenment. In fact, it often feels dull, disorienting, or empty. Awareness expands before meaning reforms. And that gap is uncomfortable. The mind craves stability. When old frameworks dissolve, the nervous system interprets uncertainty as danger. So the body reacts with anxiety, numbness, or restlessness. Not because something is wrong, but because something familiar has ended. It's important to say this clearly. This feeling does not mean reality is collapsing. Other people aren't real. You're above everyone else. There's a hidden enemy controlling everything. Those interpretations often arise from discomfort, not insight. We are not about replacing one illusion with another. If reality feels different, the instinct is to explain it. But explanation isn't always the answer. Sometimes the most grounded response is slowing down, returning to the body, spending time in nature, reducing stimulation. Not to escape reality, but to re-enter it. Meaning rebuilds itself when we stop forcing it. If reality feels like it's changed, it doesn't mean something has gone wrong. It may simply mean an old way of seeing has ended, and a new one hasn't fully arrived yet. Transitions feel unreal because they exist between definitions. And that's where many of us are now. Something is ending, but something else is quietly becoming possible.